Checking audio feed. Testing 1 2. Dr. Kenneth, do you copy from the monitoring bunker? Loud and clear, Agent Vance. Keep your hand on your holster, but remember, weapons are useless against the geography itself. We are exactly 5 meters from the perimeter of SCP-4973. Look at the tree line. Jesus Christ, the brief didn't do it justice. Those oaks look like they were dipped in liquid highlighter. That one on the left is that metallic gold bark? Neon pink, sapphire blue, metallic gold. It fluctuates depending on the light refraction. Avoid staring directly at the shifting gradients in the grass. It causes ocular fatigue, followed by cognitive drifting. Is the remote drone prepped? Drone 01 is online and idling. Rotors are clear. HD optical sensors are calibrated for the oversaturation, sending it across the boundary fence. Now, monitoring telemetry. Drone 01 has crossed the threshold, 10 meters in, 20 meters. The color distortion on the camera feed is severe. I'm adjusting the white balance manually. Look at the flowers near the roots, Doc. They aren't petals. They're literal plastic pinwheels. And they're spinning, but there's absolutely no wind right now. My tactical anemometer is reading dead zero. Noted. Pinwheel structures appear to be organic matter mimicking PVC plastic. Keep the drone moving along the northern vector. We need to map the internal density before the level 4s authorize the next automated sweep. Copy that. Advancing drone, 50 meters in. The grass is, wow, it's changing from lime green to electric purple every time the drone's shadow passes over it. It's almost pretty. Focus, Agent. Remember the mimetic hazard profile. Euphoria, curiosity, a desire to explore. Describe your current emotional state. I feel fine. A little tired from the drive here, but actually, looking at the forest, I kind of want to walk in there and just grab one of those pinwheels. It reminds me of this fair my parents took me to in Ohio when I was 7. Step back 3 paces, Vance. Immediately. That is the baseline cognitive pull. Breathe the filtered air from your transport rig. Do not inhale the ambient perimeter breeze. Right, taking 3 steps back. Copy that. Wow, that hit fast. It's like a warm blanket in the brain. I'm okay now. Eyes on the monitor. Drone 01 is at 150 meters. The foliage is thickening. I'm seeing anomalous structural changes in the wood. The branches are twisting into loops like roller coaster tracks. Doc, turn up the audio gain on the drone's microphone array. I think I hear something through my headset. Adjusting gain to maximum. Checking the frequency analyzer. Nothing. The waveform is a flat line, Vance. Absolute silence in the forest. No, wait, listen closely. It's faint. It sounds like a calliope, like a circus organ, and kids. A lot of kids laughing, like they're playing hide-and-seek right behind that pink ridge. The drone's audio logs show 0 decibels of ambient sound, Agent. You are experiencing the phase 1 auditory hallucination. The anomaly bypasses the eardrum and stimulates the auditory cortex directly. Ignore it. It sounds so clear, though. It's playing Pop Goes the Weasel, but the tempo is slightly off. It's slower, dragging. Vance, look at the drone feed. We have movement at 210 meters, beneath the sapphire brush. I see it, panning camera left. What the hell is that? Is that a bear? Zooming in. Negative. It's an instance of SCP-4973-A. It appears to be a plush teddy bear, approximately 1 meter in height. Material looks like faded blue corduroy. It's digging in the dirt. With what? It doesn't have claws, it has stubby cloth paws. It's using a plastic beach shovel. Look at the movement mechanics. No internal skeletal structure, no musculature. It moves like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings, but there are no strings. It's completely autonomous. Wait, there's another one, coming out from the gold tree. It's a tin soldier. A vintage wind-up one. It's marching, but it's not winding down. The key on its back is spinning at a constant velocity. They're interacting. The teddy bear just handed the tin soldier a handful of the pinwheel flowers. The soldier it's saluting. This matches the simplistic play behavior detailed in the archive. It's creepy as hell, Doc. They don't have faces. Well, the soldier has painted eyes, but they're chipped. The bear just has black plastic buttons. They aren't looking at each other. They're just executing actions near each other. They have no identity left, Vance. That tin soldier could have been a missing real estate agent from Vermont. The bear could have been a truck driver. Once conversion event alpha completes, the human mind is entirely wiped. It's a clean slate optimized for play. Look at the background of the shot further down the path. Is that clothes? Move the drone closer, careful of the low-hanging branches. Navigating drone. Okay, clear. Dropping altitude to 2 meters. Jesus. Those are foundation orange overalls and a tactical vest. There's a name patch on the vest. D44192. That's from the June expedition 3 years ago. The automated retrieval team missed those garments. Look inside the clothes, Vance. There's no body, no blood. The clothes are just collapsed on the ground, perfectly intact, like the person inside just evaporated. Wait, there's something inside the left boot. Tilt the camera down. It's a plastic dinosaur, a green Tyrannosaurus rex, about 6 inches tall. It's trying to climb out of the boot, but its plastic legs keep slipping on the leather. That's D44192, or rather what's left. The conversion completely replaces organic tissue with polymer, porcelain, plush, or tin. The volume and mass don't even conserve. A 90-kilogram man becomes a 10-ounce plastic toy. The dinosaur just fell over. It's lying on its side, kicking its legs. It doesn't seem to realize it's stuck. It's just kicking. It doesn't have the capacity to realize it. The brain is gone. The consciousness is replaced by whatever rudimentary script governs the toy's nature. Leave it. Advance the drone toward the central zone. We need to find the boundary of the original Wondertainment installation. Roger that. Increasing forward thrust. We're passing 300 meters now. The music in my head is getting louder, Doc. It's not just Pop Goes the Weasel anymore. I can hear a woman's voice. She's cheering, like she's watching a kid win a game at a carnival. Ignore the voice, Agent. Recite your security cipher to maintain cognitive grounding. Omega, Delta, 7, 9, 4. The grass is really bright, Doc, like painfully bright. It looks like liquid neon. The drone's sensors are starting to glitch. The pixel array is frying. Static is rising on my monitor too. Hold the drone steady. I'm pulling up the historical log for context. Let's review test log 4973-7 while we monitor this data stream. I want to compare the conversion timeline. You mean the guy who turned into a lion? Yes, D99122. Entered the forest at 14:00 hours. By 14:12 he was laughing continuously, much like you're hearing the music now. By 14:19 communication ceased. The biometric sensors recorded his bones softening. Not breaking, Vance, softening into a polymer matrix. His skin turned yellow. 32 seconds later he was a stuffed lion. Did he say anything before he went under? His last recorded words were, "Everything looks like a cartoon. I think I can hear somebody calling my name." Then his vital signs dropped to 0 instantly. Brain death, cardiac arrest, systemic cellular transformation all occurring within the same second. And then the lion just walked away. Northward, just like the rest of them. They wander for decades inside this perimeter. Then, for reasons we still don't understand, they walk right out to the edge, cross the fence, and drop dead. Well, not dead. Dormant. Like a normal toy waiting on a shelf. Exactly. Until a child picks them up. That's when stage 2 triggers. That's the real nightmare of this anomaly, Vance. The forest is just the breeding ground. The distribution method is what kills. I read the file on the household homicides. It didn't make sense. Why do they kill the parents? If they're toys made for kids, why murder the adults? We don't know. The toys wait until the child is asleep or the parents are alone. They disable the security systems. They unlock gun safes. They cut brake lines. They push people downstairs. They are remarkably efficient saboteurs for things made of fluff and plastic. And the kids are never harmed. Never. In every single case, the child is found unharmed, sitting in a house full of deceased relatives holding the toy. When local police ask what happened, the child always says the same thing. My toy was just protecting our playtime. Protecting it from what? Growing up. Look at the sign we found near the center during the 22 recovery. Dr. Wondertainment's Fantastic Forever Forest. The slogan explicitly states, growing up is optional. The philosophy of that specific group of interest often involves an extreme, anomalous enforcement of childhood innocence. To a child, parents represent rules, structure, and eventually adulthood. If you eliminate the adults, the child stays in a state of perpetual, unsupervised play. That's twisted, even for Wondertainment. Wondertainment products are notorious for lacking human empathy while claiming to maximize joy. They operate on toy logic, not human logic. Look at your monitor. The drone has reached 400 meters. The static is heavy. I can barely see through the feed. Wait, there's a clearing. There's something big in the middle of it. It looks like a carousel, but the horses aren't wooden. What are they? They're real horses, Doc, or they used to be. They've been converted into porcelain. They're fused to the brass poles. Their eyes are painted blue, but you can still see the texture of the hair underneath the glaze. Fascinating. The anomaly affects non-human organisms as well, though human conversion is the primary output. Keep the drone moving past the carousel. I'm trying, but the controls are sluggish. The joystick isn't responding correctly. It feels like the drone is flying through syrup. Atmospheric density check. Still normal. It's a localized reality anchor failure. The space inside the forest is becoming more rigid, conforming to a stylized framework. It's trying to convert the drone. Can a drone turn into a toy? We've lost 3 drones this year. One was recovered near the fence 6 months later. It had been transformed into a wind-up tin airplane. The internal camera mechanism was replaced by a small music box that played "London Bridge is Falling Down" when you turned the propeller. That's fantastic, just fantastic. I'm losing video feed, Doc. It's dropping to 10 frames per second, 5 frames. Pull it back, Vance. Abort the forward sweep. Bring drone 01 back to the perimeter. We have enough topological data for today. Aborting, turning drone 180 degrees. Come on, baby, turn. Okay, it's heading south. Video is clearing up a bit as it moves away from the center. Excellent, watch the path. Is that teddy bear still there? Yeah, it's still digging. Wait, no, it's not digging anymore. It's looking up at the drone. You said it didn't have eyes. It doesn't, it has button eyes, but it's tilting its head back, following the drone's flight path. The tin soldier is doing it too. They're both staring right at the camera. That's atypical behavior. Usually, they ignore non-anomalous machinery completely. Accelerate the drone, Vance. I'm giving it full throttle. The motors are whining, but it's barely moving. Doc, the music in my ears. It just stopped. The calliope. Yeah, it stopped mid-note. Now it's just quiet, really quiet. Even the wind outside our bunker has died down, hasn't it? The perimeter sensors show normal wind speeds of 12 knots, Vance. Your headset is filtering external noise due to your proximity to the zone. Focus on my voice. Only my voice. I hear something else now. It's not music, it's a zipper. A zipper. Like a coat zipper or a sleeping bag. It's coming from the drone's audio feed. Look at the teddy bear, Doc. Look at its stomach. The seams are opening. There's no thread holding it together anymore. It's splitting down the middle. Is there stuffing coming out? No, it's dark inside, like a void. Wait, something is reaching out of the bear's chest. It looks like a hand, a small, pale human hand. Oh hell no, pull that drone up, climb. The drone isn't responding. The altitude is dropping automatically. Something is pulling the signal down. Dock the hand. It's grabbing the drone's landing gear. Cut the feed. Vance, kill the power to the receiver. Disconnect the console lights. I'm trying, the switch is stuck. It feels like plastic. The plastic toggle on the control board is melting into my thumb. Step away from the console, Agent. That's an order, step back. My hand is stuck to the joystick, Kenneth. It's not melting, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. My skin is turning bright pink. Look at my wrist. Vance, look at me. Look at my face. Do not look at your hand. It's a really nice shade of pink, Doc. Like bubblegum. Like the bubblegum I used to buy at the corner store after school. I forgot how much I loved that color. Security, we have a perimeter breach via console contamination. Lock down Sector 4. Get a medical team with Class A amnestics to the monitoring bunker now. Don't call them, Doc, it's fine. The music is back. It's much louder now. It's the grand old Duke of York. My mom used to sing that to me when I was sick. Vance, listen to my voice. You are Agent Marcus Vance, Foundation Security ID 883 Alpha. You have a wife and a daughter in Brunswick. Remember them. Brunswick? No, that doesn't sound right. I don't think I've ever been to Georgia. I've always lived here in the woods with the toys. His fingers are fusing. The joints are disappearing. He's losing skeletal structure in the forearm. Security, where are you? The buttons are nice, Kenneth. Can you help me find my buttons? I think I need 2 black ones for my eyes. Otherwise, how will I see the parade? I'm sealing the internal bunker door. I'm sorry, Marcus. I can't let the contamination spread to the secondary console. Why are you locking the door, silly? Don't you want to play? We have a whole forest. We can be whatever we want. You could be a train conductor. You'd look great in a little striped hat. The biological readings on Vance's suit are dropping. Heart rate 60, 40-20. Respiration ceased. Brain wave activity is shifting from standard human patterns to a high-amplitude, low-frequency rhythm. It matches the signature of a toy's dormant state. I'm so light now, I don't feel the vest anymore. I don't feel the gun, everything is just soft like fleece. He's completely converted. The clothes are empty. There's a plush clown doll sitting in the security chair. It's wearing a tiny version of his tactical helmet. Hello, is anybody there? It's dark inside this helmet, let me just push it off. There we go. Oh wow, look at all the colorful trees. I should go outside and see who wants to play tag. This is Dr. Kenneth recording. Agent Vance has been lost to Conversion Event Alpha at 23:54 hours. The resulting instance, SCP-4973A502, is currently climbing out of the monitoring bunker's observation window. It is moving toward the northern tree line. It displays no recollection of Foundation protocols or human identity. Look at me jump, the grass is so bouncy. Hey Blue Bear, wait up. I have a funny joke to tell you. Logging off. I need to contact Site Command. We need to schedule an immediate perimeter reevaluation. And, God help me, I need to check the inventory on Protocol Lizard Feast. If we can recover his original template. No. The O5s will never approve it for a security agent. Not after what happened with D22410. This is Dr. Kenneth. The date is August 14th. I am conducting a follow-up review of the recovery logs regarding SCP-4973A instances, specifically focusing on the anomalies reversal process. Sitting across from me is Dr. Richards, who supervised the incident involving D22410 3 years ago. Richards, thanks for coming down. Honestly, Kenneth, I wish you hadn't dragged me back into this file. I still have nightmares about the smell of that containment chamber after the breach. We need the exact details on record, Richards. The current containment procedures mention Protocol Lizard Feast, but the technical specifics are heavily redacted for anyone below level 4. I need to understand why the Foundation relies on something as extreme as SCP-682's digestive tract to reverse this specific conversion. Because nothing else works, Kenneth. Do you think we didn't try everything else first? When we brought back SCP-4973-A144, who used to be D22410, we spent 6 months throwing every regenerative anomaly we had at him. We tried SCP-500. We tried localized reality stabilization fields. We even used a low-level mimetic restoration matrix to see if we could force his human memories back into that porcelain shell. And the results? Nothing. He was a porcelain sailor doll. If you scraped his skin, it didn't bleed. It just left a white powder mark. When we showed him pictures of his actual children, he just stared at them with those painted blue eyes and said, "Those toys look lonely." Then he tried to chew on the glossy paper. His mind was entirely gone, replaced by a 5-word vocabulary and the urge to march in circles. So how did the 682 interaction happen? The file says it was an accident during a containment breach. It was a complete clusterfuck, to be frank. 682 broke through the secondary firewall in Sector 4. A144 happened to be in a temporary holding locker along the escape route. The lizard tore through the wall, smashed the locker, and swallowed the doll whole along with half a dozen security guards. We assumed the instance was destroyed, eradicated. But it wasn't. 6 hours later, after we re-established containment and pushed 682 back into its acid bath using heavy suppression teams, the cleanup crew found something in the corridor. 682 had purged. Its digestive system is highly adaptive, as you know. It breaks down matter down to the atomic level, but it also rejects material that it deems fundamentally wrong or toxic to its biology. And a Wondertainment product qualified as toxic. Apparently, the crew found an adult human male curled up on the floor, covered in gastric acid and, well, reptilian excrement. It was D22410. His clothes were gone, but his body was completely human again. Flesh, blood, bone. No plastic, no porcelain. And his memory. That's the craziest part. He remembered everything up to the moment he walked into the forest 7 years prior. The 7 years he spent as a porcelain doll marching around the trees. Total blank. He thought he had just fallen asleep in the woods. I've read the interview transcript. It's brief. Let's play the audio from that session for the record. I have the tape right here. Click static hissing. Testing. This is doctor interviewing recovered subject D22410. Subject has undergone decontamination following recovery from the SCP-682 containment area. Subject, can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you. Doc, my skin feels tight, like it doesn't fit right. Is that normal? You've been through a highly irregular physiological event. Can you tell me the last thing you remember before waking up in the corridor? The trees, we were doing the sweep. The trees were. They were too bright. It hurt my head to look at them. I remember Marcus saying something about music. Then I sat down because my boots felt heavy, like they were full of wet cement. Anything after that? Any dreams? Any awareness of your surroundings? Nothing. It's like I went asleep. 1 second I'm sitting under a blue tree, the next second I'm drowning in green slime and everything smells like rotten meat. Why do I smell like a dead dinosaur, Doc? You've been missing for 7 years. D22410. 7 what? No, that's impossible. I just sat down for a minute. My legs were tired. I have a sister in Boston. I'm supposed to call her on Tuesday. What do you mean 7 years? We confirmed your identity through biometric matching. You disappeared within the anomaly in 2019. It is currently 2026. Sound of rapid breathing, followed by violent retching. Oh God, my mouth tastes like pennies. I can't breathe. What did you do to me? What's in my stomach? Please remain calm. Medical staff are on standby. There's something inside me, it feels like. It feels like it's clicking, like a clock. Get it out of me. Sound of a chair knocking over, shouting from security personnel. The tape cuts out. Clicking. He didn't last long after that interview, did he, Richards? 3 days. His internal organs were human, but his bone marrow was still secreting microplastics. Every time his heart beat, his blood pressure spiked because his veins were losing elasticity, turning into a synthetic rubber compound. The restoration through 682's gastric process was temporary, a biological rebound effect. His body was trying to reconvert itself back into the doll form, but without the anomaly's localized field to stabilize the transition, his system just collapsed. So Protocol Lizard Feast isn't actually a cure. It's a desperate measure to extract information. We only use it if an O5 or a high-level researcher gets caught in the zone, and we absolutely need their security ciphers or project data before they degrade completely. We sacrifice a toy to the lizard, pull the human out of the slurry, interrogate them for 48 hours, and then administer euthanasia before the secondary plasticization sets in. It's gruesome. It's inefficient. But it's the only window we have into what happens on the other side of that tree line. And Wondertainment knew this. The disclaimer on the sign explicitly mentions reptilian digestion. Wondertainment's legal disclaimers are always a mockery of our containment efforts, Kenneth. They know we use 682 for testing. They find it amusing that their fantastic forever forest can only be undone by the most hateful entity in our inventory. It's a joke to them, a cosmic punchline. Let's look at the secondary phase again. Stage 2, the homicides. I have the police reports from the initial discovery in Ohio. 3 families, totally wiped out except for the youngest child. In each case, the weapon was something domestic. A kitchen knife left on the counter, a hunting rifle taken from a locked cabinet, a car shifted into neutral on a steep driveway. The toys don't have the physical strength to swing an axe or pull a trigger conventionally, Kenneth. They use leverage. They use stealth. A wind-up soldier can spend 12 hours slowly pushing a heavy glass bowl toward the edge of a shelf until it falls on someone's head while they're sleeping. A plush bear can stuff itself into a furnace exhaust pipe to cause carbon monoxide poisoning. It implies a level of tactical intelligence that completely contradicts the mindless play behavior they show inside the forest. Inside the forest, they are in the playground. They don't need to fight because there are no adults, no rules, no schedules. But once they leave the perimeter and get adopted by a child, they enter defense mode. They see the parents as captors. They see bedtime, school, chores, and medicine as forms of torture inflicted on their new friend. So they remove the problem. Why don't they just run away with the kid? Where would they go? A 6-year-old child can't survive in the wilderness alone. The toy knows this. The goal isn't to take the child to the forest. The goal is to turn the child's home into the forest, a place of endless, unsupervised play. Once the parents are gone, the child stays in the house, playing with the toy until the food runs out or social services arrives. And by then, the toy has gone dormant again, waiting to be boxed up and sent to a thrift store or an orphanage. It's a perfect viral life cycle. The forest creates the vectors clear out the adult population, and the children are left vulnerable to further anomalous exposure. Exactly. That's why the containment procedures require a triple-layer electrified fence and GPS jamming. If even one of those toys gets into a suburban Walmart or a garage sale, a family dies within 3 days. No exceptions. We intercepted a shipment last month, Richards, in Pennsylvania. A delivery truck driver had taken a shortcut through the back roads near the exclusion zone. He found a cardboard box sitting on the asphalt just outside our outer patrol line. Inside were 12 pristine porcelain dolls, all dressed like historical figures. Did he have a child? A 9-year-old daughter. We raided the house 48 hours after he brought the box home. We were almost too late. What did you find? The daughter was in her bedroom having a tea party. The 12 dolls were sitting around a plastic table. The driver, we found him in the garage. The car was running. The garage door tracks had been jammed with wooden building blocks so they couldn't be opened from the inside or via the electronic remote. The wife was at the bottom of the basement stairs. Someone had greased the top 3 steps with vegetable oil. And the dolls. When the tactical team breached the room, the dolls were completely inanimate, just painted ceramic. But one of them, a doll shaped like Abraham Lincoln, had a faint smear of automotive grease on its white sleeve. We confiscated the entire batch and locked them in a Type 17 locker. The daughter threw a tantrum that lasted 3 days. She kept screaming that we were kidnapping her babysitters. The emotional attachment forms instantly, Kenneth. It's a localized cognitive anomaly. The child doesn't see a toy. They see a perfect companion that listens to them, validates them, and never tells them no. It's an addictive psychic bond. Breaking it requires intensive amnesiac therapy. We gave her a Class B. She doesn't remember the dolls now. She doesn't remember her parents either, unfortunately. She thinks she grew up in a state home. A mercy, considering the alternative. If she remembered, she'd spend the rest of her life looking for those dolls. They always do. Let's talk about the sign found at the center, the Wondertainment advertisement. The text is highly specific. Why be boring old you when you can be a toy? It frames the conversion as a privilege, a promotion. To an unhappy kid or a stressed out adult, the idea of zero responsibilities, zero pain, and perpetual play sounds like paradise. That's how the forest catches you. It plays on your exhaustion. It targets your existential dread. You walk in there, you're worried about your mortgage, your career, your health. And suddenly the air smells like cotton candy. You hear kids laughing, and a voice tells you that you can just stop. You can just lie down in the pretty grass and let someone else worry about everything. That matches Vance's final transmissions. He was talking about how light he felt, how he didn't want his vest or his gun anymore. He was happy, Richards. In his final moments, he was genuinely happy. That's what makes it an SCP object, Kenneth. True happiness shouldn't involve your bones turning into PVC plastic and your mind being reduced to a marketing script. It's a counterfeit joy. A manufactured state of bliss designed to sell a product that consumes the consumer. We need to run another drone sweep next week. Sector Command wants to see if the central anomaly is expanding. The perimeter fence has already been moved back twice since 2012. It's growing by about 0.2 square kilometers every year. The neon grass is slowly choking out the natural pine trees at the edge. The roots are absorbing the sap and turning it into synthetic syrup. If this trend continues, we'll have to evacuate the town of Oakhaven by 2030. We're already embedding agents in the local real estate offices. We're creating a narrative about a toxic groundwater plume from an old industrial site to justify buying out the properties. If the public sees a pink forest growing toward their backyards, we won't be able to contain the panic. And what happens if a civilian drone takes a photo from above? We have a permanent automated fly zone restriction. Any civilian aircraft or drone that enters the airspace is brought down via localized electromagnetic pulse. The official story is that it's a high-security military testing range. So far, the cover has held. But for how long? Wondertainment doesn't just leave things alone. They like to release updates, new product lines. That's what I'm afraid of. If they decide to launch Season 2 of this forest, we might see the conversion speed double. Or worse, the Stage 2 instances might stop waiting for children to adopt them. They might start hunting. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm going to review the chemical analysis of the microplastics found in D22410's marrow. Maybe there's a way to synthesize a counteragent without involving the lizard. Good luck, Richards. You're going to need it. Every chemist we've put on this project ended up requesting a transfer within a month. They say the plastic samples keep shifting shapes inside the test tubes when they turn their backs. I'll keep my eyes on them then, literally. Audio log, Dr. Kenneth, personal notes, October 3rd. It's been 2 months since Agent Vance's conversion. Yesterday, during a routine perimeter patrol inspection along the eastern fence line, the security team found a new instance of SCP-4973 sitting directly against the chain-link barrier. It was a plush clown doll, wearing a tiny, faded Kevlar helmet. It didn't move. It was completely dormant, matching the behavior of an instance ready for distribution. It had Marcus's security badge pinned to its chest, but the plastic had warped so the photo showed a cartoon smiling face instead of his face. I stood there looking at it through the chain link for a long time. The wind was blowing from the west, right out of the forest. I swear I could smell funnel cake. And I heard that damn calliope music again, very faint, playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in a minor key. I wanted to pick it up. I knew exactly what would happen, I knew the risks, I knew the procedures. But for a split second I thought, what if I just take him back to the office? What if I keep him on my desk? He looked so lonely sitting there in the dirt, just a little pink clown with a funny hat. I didn't do it. I called the containment team. They used a long-reach pneumatic gripper to lift the doll into a Type 17 locker without direct human contact. But the fact that I even hesitated, the fact that a Level 3 researcher with 20 years of experience felt that pull, it proves the mimetic field is strengthening. The forest isn't just expanding physically, its cognitive reach is widening. The fence isn't enough anymore. The air filters in our bunker are starting to degrade faster because of the microscopic polymer fibers floating through the air. Every time we change the intake screens, they're clogged with bright pink lint. It looks like fiberglass, but under the microscope, the fibers are shaped like tiny smiley faces. We're breathing it in every day. Everyone at this site is probably 5% plastic by now. Our skin is getting smoother. Our hair is losing its natural oil, becoming slightly shiny, like nylon. I haven't told medical yet. If I report it, they'll lock us all in quarantine and send in a cleanup crew from Site 19. They'll replace us with fresh staff who don't know the layout, who don't know the patterns. And that would be dangerous. We are the only ones who know how to listen to the silence between the songs. Yesterday, I caught Dr. Richards in the break room. He was staring at a cup of black coffee. He had a box of those colored plastic straws, the ones with the flexible accordion necks. He was just bending one back and forth, listening to the clicking sound. Click-clack, click-clack. He did it for 40 minutes without blinking. I asked him if he was okay. He didn't look at me. He just said, "Do you think the tin soldier ever gets tired of marching, Kenneth? Do you think his spring ever feels like it's wound too tight?" I didn't answer him. I took my coffee and walked out, but I knew what he meant. We're all wound too tight here. The Foundation keeps turning the key on our backs day after day, report after report, containment breach after containment breach. We march in straight lines. We salute the O5s. We wear our badges like little painted uniforms. Are we really that different from the toys in the woods? At least they don't have to write reports. At least they don't have to watch their friends turn into teddy bears. They just play. They dig in the dirt with plastic shovels. They give each other pinwheels. They have adventures every day. Growing up is optional. That phrase keeps repeating in my head. It's not a threat. It's an exit strategy. Wondertainment didn't build a weapon. They built an escape hatch from the 21st century. A permanent retirement home for the soul, wrapped in bubblegum and bright paint. I need to stop recording. The microphone is making a strange clicking noise. Or maybe it's my thumb on the plastic housing. It feels smooth. Very smooth. I can barely feel the ridges of my fingerprints anymore. Let's check the fence line one more time before the sun goes down. The sunset over the forest is supposed to be beautiful tonight. Sapphire blue and metallic gold. I want to see how the colors mix when the light hits the trees. This is Director Albright, Site Command. The date is November 12th. I am initiating an emergency review of the monitoring bunker logs for SCP-4973. As of 06:00 hours this morning, both Dr. Kenneth and Dr. Richards have failed to report for their mandatory medical evaluations. A security sweep of their quarters found them empty. The monitoring bunker was found unlocked. The internal blast doors were open. The primary console was active, but the screens were displaying nothing but a repeating loop of a commercial broadcast from the 1980s, an advertisement for a toy castle. We recovered 2 objects from the console chairs. In Dr. Kenneth's seat, there was a wind-up wooden puppet shaped like a scholar, holding a tiny magnifying glass. In Dr. Richards' seat, there was a glass jar filled with brightly colored plastic marbles. When our technicians counted the marbles, there were exactly 52. Richards was 52 years old. The security cameras along the eastern sector show both researchers walking past the triple fence line at approximately 02:14 a.m. They did not use tools to cut the wire. The fence was. It appears to have melted or transformed into a row of giant, multicolored licorice sticks. They simply pushed the strands aside and walked through. They were laughing. The external audio sensors captured their conversation before they entered the high-density zone. I am playing the audio now for the 05 review board. Click, sound of wind rustling through grass. Faint, distant carnival music. Look at the moon, Kenneth. It's not white tonight. It looks like a big lemon drop. It's beautiful, Richards. My feet don't hurt anymore. The gravel on the path feels like cotton balls. Are you going to bring your magnifying glass? Of course. We need to check the pinwheels. We need to see if they're growing correctly. Dr. Wondertainment will be very disappointed if the new batch isn't ready for the holidays. I don't want to go back to the site, Kenneth. The paperwork is so heavy. The folders are always gray. Why is everything there so gray? Because they forgot how to play, silly. They think containment is a job. They don't realize it's just a game of hide and seek. But we found the hiding spot, didn't we? We sure did. Look, there's Marcus. He's juggling the pinwheels by the big pink tree. Hey, Marcus, wait for us. We brought the marbles. Sound of clapping hands. The laughter fades into the distance as the calliope music swells, completely overwhelming the microphone array with a distorted, high-pitched carnival march. Clicking. Both researchers are designated lost. Effective immediately, Sector 4 is placed under total automated lock. No human personnel are to be stationed within 2 kilometers of the perimeter. All observation will be handled by high-altitude satellite reconnaissance. The transformation of the perimeter fence into an organic, non-conductive sugar matrix indicates that the anomaly's internal reality field is now capable of projecting outward to neutralize containment structures directly. The Wondertainment effect is no longer passive. We are preparing an application for a localized kinetic strike. If the 05 board does not approve the destruction of the woodland within the next 90 days, the town of Oakhaven will fall within the conversion zone before the spring thaw. VN. This is Director Albright closing log. To anyone who finds this tape in the future, if you hear music in the trees, run. Don't listen to the words. Don't look at the colors. Just run. Click static. A small, mechanical ticking sound persists on the tape for 3 minutes. Then a child's voice speaks through the white noise. Thanks for playing with Dr. Wondertainment. See you next time. Tape ends.